Hey, welcome to my channel, Hillside Soul. If you are new here, my name is Rachel, and I am a mashup channel of homesteading and crochet. My husband and I are in the process of rebuilding a homestead here on our new property, and also I started a crochet business in the middle of all that happening. Over this past weekend, I had my very first in-person market. It was a cottagecore inspired mini market, and it was so fun, and I want to tell you all about it. If that is of interest to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button because hopefully in the future there will be more markets to come. And if you are here mostly for homesteading content, don't worry, the homesteading content is not going anywhere. I will have a video that is homestead related on Sunday coming out. I would love to have some feedback from those of you who are subscribed to my channel. If you enjoy my crochet content and my homesteading content, would you prefer to see everything mashed up into one vlog style video, or would you prefer for me to keep them separate? I'm kind of toying with the idea of maybe on Sundays, every other Sunday, I continue my homesteading videos, and then maybe every other week, like during the week at some point, maybe on like Thursday is what I'm thinking, I will release a crochet related video. So if you want to just only watch crochet or homesteading, you can kind of keep them separate. But I don't really know. I'm such a mashup channel and I don't really know the direction that I should take this. So let me know what you guys are thinking. I would love some feedback on that. I know quite a few of you are here because you just like me and we're friends or we talk online or whatever. So I appreciate you guys, but I would love feedback from everyone. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Let's get into the good stuff. This is going to be purely crochet market related. I have my list here of everything that I took to the market with me, what sold, what I would like to do different in future markets, what I thought I did well, and yeah, just all the details on that. Because let me just tell you, in preparation for this market, my very first market ever, I watched a ton of crochet market prep vlogs and also market recap vlogs, and they were immensely helpful to me. So I wanted to kind of give back to that space and share some of my thoughts. Hopefully it'll help someone. And if not, then this is kind of just like a video journal diary for myself to be able to look back on in the future. And hopefully I improve a lot and I can look back at this video and be like, wow, look how far I've come. Before we get right into the video, I do want to say if you are a crochet artist and you would like some patterns for these things that I've created, let me know down in the comments and I will go ahead and share the patterns. I am not gatekeeping anything around here, but I am not going to put patterns in the comments right now because I'm honestly not sure how many views this video is even going to get. So if you want a pattern, let me know and I will link it down below. And if a lot of people are asking for patterns, I will go ahead and just add them to the description box. So don't hesitate, just comment and let me know which pattern you're looking for. Okay, so to start, overall, I had a phenomenal experience at this first market. It really built up my confidence. I was so nervous going into this. And if you are someone who was at the market and you scanned my little QR code and it led you here, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you. Even if you just visited my booth, looked at my items and gave me a compliment, huge. That was massive to me. It felt so good and affirming to know that my products were nice, at least, or high quality, or really pretty, or really cute, or whatever you may have commented on. It really meant a lot to me. And if you are someone who purchased something from me, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You made my day. Every single purchase is solidified in my memory forever, probably because this was my first market. So it was really amazing. And I just really appreciate every single purchase, no matter how small. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I cannot go any further without giving a shout out to my mom and my niece who helped me with the market setup and everything. And my niece also sold a few things in my booth as well. And that was really amazing to be able to do that. And my husband was huge in setting all of this stuff up. He set up the tent for us. He helped me with sales. He, maintained the cash and everything like that. So huge shout out to all of them for helping. And my kids, if you came to the market, you probably saw that my two boys were very helpful in this market. They really enjoyed interacting with the customers and chatting with people and bagging up my stuff for me and taking money when they could and things like that. And a big shout out also to Joe's Mercantile in Havre de Grace, who was the organizer of this event. And spoiler alert, I am seeing that there is an event scheduled for November called the Cottagecore Christmas Market. So stay tuned for that. I'm really hoping to have some details on that event, but I do know that it is going to be in November and I'm really hoping to be there. So stay tuned for that. Let's get into the specifics, the money, what I sold, everything like that. So to start, the booth fee for this event was $30. So goal number one was to make $30. And again, spoiler alert, I did just that. I did a little more than that. I made the booth fee back. I think the event started at like 11 and I think probably by 11:15, 11:20, you're probably gonna see my cats in the background. Probably by 11:15 or 11:20, I had made the booth fee back. So that felt amazing, amazing. I mean, even at that point in the day, I was like, okay, Even at that point in the day, I was over the moon to just have made my booth feedback so early in the day. My very first sale was a little flower plushie, and I sold that for $10. I'll make sure I put pictures here of everything. Again, if you're looking for a pattern, please comment below. I'm happy to share it with you. And so if you were the person who bought this little flower plushie, just know you were my very first market sale ever, and it meant the world to me. So I was so happy to see that one go first because it was really, really cute. Anyways, before we get into those specifics, I did just want to go over, if I'm looking down, I do have my paper here with me. So the inventory that I brought, the grand total of everything was $1,543 worth of inventory. I'll go ahead and give you the number up front of how much I made. I made a total of $412 at the market yesterday. That may not sound like a big number to my professional crochet market friends on here, but to me, that was massive for my first market, and it felt really good. And actually, yesterday's market was able to pull me out from the underside of business startup costs. So when you start a business, obviously you have to invest some money. And everything that I have made from the very start of this business to yesterday, actually 2 days ago, today is Monday, so 2 days ago, all of those costs that I have made have finally, as of Saturday, pulled me out from being underneath of business costs. So all of my startup costs, I don't remember what I did with the paper, but I want to say my startup business costs were just under $700, and I have officially made over that from, again, start to this weekend. So that felt really, really good. And if it hadn't been for this market, then I would not be in that position to be able to say that I am no longer underneath of business startup costs. So love that for me. Okay, so let's get into what I took and what I sold. Again, pictures will be right here. Scoot over a little bit, make sure I have plenty of room. Okay, so I took one tote bag, like a market bag. I made this with some granny squares that were really cute. I love this bag so much. I did put liners in all of my bags, excluding my book sleeves. My book sleeves do not have liners, but the bags that I took all had liners. I marked it at $40, and I don't have all of my prices listed on my paper here, but I'll just go ahead and put the prices here on the screen with the picture. So I did sell this tote bag pretty early on in the day, and I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I was when that bag sold. It kind of hurt me a little bit, not gonna lie, because I really like that bag and I almost wanted to keep it for myself, but I am so happy that it sold. It was amazing to be able to sell that tote bag. So again, I sold that for $40. I did take 2 granny square fanny pack bags. Again, these were lined. I did not sell either of those, but I will say they were pretty popular. A lot of people were looking at them. Something that I think that I would change about these granny square bags is actually, okay, so I do have this one of the granny square bags right here, so you can get a little close up of it. I marketed these for $25 a piece. I think that I would like to add some type of closure here. So either a button, or I was thinking like a crochet tie of some sort, like maybe 2 ties right here and right here. Because I think, and my husband agreed with me, if they had had some type of closure on them, that people probably would have ended up buying one. I don't know that that's what it was, but that would be my guess, because I probably wouldn't want to buy one of those bags without being able to close it. So I am going to add that on somehow. I don't think I can go back and add a zipper to those bags, but that's fine. We don't need a zipper. We can have something else to close the bag. Moving on, we had many book sleeves available. I did have 2 different kinds of book sleeves. So I had this style of book sleeve, which is my shell stitch. I more so market these as like a Kindle sleeve, but they do fit books. They're just not as roomy as my other sleeves. So I had 8 of these book sleeves, and I sold 1 of them. I sold my brown one. I was very happy to see that go. And then I also had 11 of these like granny stitch style book sleeves, which I think that these are just stunning and beautiful. I have them available in 3 sizes. I have ones that are like a small size, I have a medium size, and then a large size, and they are priced differently. So they do have a lot of stretch in them. So even the smaller book sleeves can still fit probably 2 books, like 2 regular sized books, but the larger sleeves can fit like your really chunky, like epic fantasy style books, and maybe even one more like smaller book in them. I love these book sleeves, so I'm not really sure why they're not selling. I did not sell any of these book sleeves, and I even dropped the prices on them in hopes of selling some. A lot of people looked at them, but no one is actually purchasing them. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I love these book sleeves so much. So that's why I was so happy to sell one of the shell sleeves. Oh, and the shell sleeves, I have them for $20. I did say I was gonna put that on the screen, so I don't know why I'm saying that. Anyways, moving on to actually let's go the bookmarks, because that goes with the book stuff. So I had a few different kinds of bookmarks. I had 3 strawberry bookmarks. They were so cute, and they did sell out. I'm not surprised about that. Kind of wish I would have made more. Strawberries were very popular at this event. Strawberries and mushrooms, very popular at this event. Not surprised at all. They're also my favorite things. So I had 3 strawberries, they sold out. I had 3 pink bow bookmarks and I did not sell any of those. My suspicion with the bow bookmarks is that I used a worsted weight yarn, so it's just a little bit thicker of a yarn. And I just don't think that people like that style of yarn. I think my cotton yarn that is a little bit more thin looks nicer with the bookmarks. So I think probably if I were to do more bookmarks going forward, I would just stick with the cotton yarn. The reason that I did the bows in that color is because it's a sparkly yarn and I just really liked the sparkle with the bow style, so that's why I chose that yarn, but I don't think that I would do that going forward. I didn't sell any of the bow bookmarks. I also took 12 flower bookmarks and these were in different colors. I had 2 of each color available and I sold 1 of them. I sold my purple flower bookmark. I also took 16 AirPod cases and these are great because they can just wrap around your bag and hang like on the strap of your bag. I ended up selling 5 of those. They were a pretty big hit. They were popular. A lot of people looked at them and like I said, I sold 5 of them. So I was surprised that they were so popular because I've had these for quite a while and I didn't mention this in the beginning of my video, but I do sell in store as well at a little boutique. It's called Old Line Mercantile in Maryland if you're local to that area. And I have had them at Old Line Mercantile for quite a while and I have sold I think 1 in the entire time that I've had them there. So I was a little shocked that they sold at this market, but obviously very excited because I have had them for a while and I love them. I use one myself on my gym bag. They're fantastic and I think they're so pretty and cute. I love the flower on them and I love the colors. So I sold 5 of those. That was really exciting. Kind of jumping all around my paper here. So let's go back up to the plushies and then work our way back down. Okay, so for the plushies, I had 2 of these very cute, very cottagecore inspired bears. I had 1 raspberry bear and 1 blueberry bear. Might be my favorite thing that I have ever made. They are the cutest bears ever and I sold both of them. I was thrilled about that, over the moon. And the lady who bought specifically the blueberry bear, she was adorable and she was so excited about this blueberry bear and it just warmed my heart and I just knew that that blueberry bear was going to a good home and that made me so happy. She loved him, so I was so excited to sell them. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I did sell my 1 flower plushie. I really wish that I had had time to make more of these. Honestly guys, okay, if you don't know about me, let me tell you a little bit real quick, intermission here. I am a mom of 2 boys and I also am trying to build a homestead like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and I also homeschool my 2 children. So I stay pretty busy and this little crochet business is kind of just like a side business for me, if you will. And you know, I'm just trying to do my best. So I made as much as I could. I also didn't sign up for this market until I think I only had a month of time to prep. So that was just like not a lot of time for me, especially given that it is the end of the school year and I was trying to finish up homeschool and just like we have evaluations that we have to do for homeschool in Pennsylvania. And so I was trying to get everything squared away for our evaluations and just, you know, end of the year stuff. So now that we are finished with that and it's summertime, I do have a little bit more time to allot to crochet, but it was a really tough month of prepping for this market. It was very, very, very tough. So I did my best. I would have loved to have had more of these little flower plushies, but alas, I only had 1. And she sold right away, like I said. So very happy that she sold. I had also 1 little chick stuffy, 2 bunny stuffies, and 6 carrots. This bunch of plushies were from my Easter plushies that I made that I sold in the store, again, Old Line Mercantile in Maryland. And they were just the ones that were left over. So I did try to take them, and the chick and the bunnies did not sell, but I did sell 2 little carrots. The carrots were very popular as well. Lots of people looking at them, lots of kids. A lot of kids would come up with their parents or their families and they were having trouble choosing between which plushies they wanted. And so, you know, the carrots were looked at quite a few times. I will say I also had 1 bee that I took, 1 little bee plushie, and then I had 4 little mushroom plushies. They were a hot commodity. They sold out way early in the day, which was very exciting. I thought that they were adorable, so I'm not surprised that they sold out. But 4 little mushroom buddies, very, very, very popular. Okay, so in the theme of mushrooms, let's stick with that. I had fidget fungus for sale, and let me just tell you, the label on this, feel free to steal it. You steal away. Fidget fungus caught so many people as they were walking past my booth. They would see the sign that said fidget fungus and cackle and come into my booth. So highly recommend marketing your popping mushrooms as fidget fungus, because I thought that was hilarious and a lot of other people enjoyed it too. And of course they would come in and be like, what is a fidget fungus? And so my boys so graciously would demonstrate how the popping mushrooms would work. I found a beautiful pattern for these online. Again, if you want that pattern, please just let me know in the comments. I'm happy to share it with you. And like I said, it was a free pattern. And so the fidget fungus, I had 2 small ones and 1 large one. I honestly could have made more of these, and I did think about making more of them, but I wasn't sure how they were gonna sell. So I really just stuck with the 2 small and the 1 large. The reason that I had 2 different sizes is because I used 2 different sizes of yarn. So I used the like cotton 8/8 from, it's the Friends cotton from Hobie. I used that one for the larger mushroom, and then the smaller mushroom was the 8/4 cotton from Hobie. So that was the size difference there. Sticking with the theme of mushrooms, I did also take 4 mushroom keychains with me. Again, I had no idea how well mushrooms were going to sell and how popular they were going to be. So I really wish that I had made more mushroom keychains. They also sold out pretty early in the day, very popular mushroom keychains. And then also more keychains that I made 8 bow keychains. I did not sell any of these. Kind of not surprised about that. I didn't love the color yarn that I had chosen. At the time, I was waiting on a yarn order to come in, and I was kind of just like making whatever I could with the yarn that I had. So I didn't have any color options available at that time when I was making them. And then when my yarn order did come in, I was already moved on to other things, and so I did not make any more of the bow keychains. But I think if I did them in other colors, they might do a little bit better. I also had 2 strawberry keychains and 1 bow with beads keychain. So my beaded keychains I priced differently than the non-beaded keychains, and the 2 strawberry ones and the bow beaded keychain, they were a last minute addition because originally when I made them, I was basically just like messing around with patterns, like finding out what I wanted to make. I do a lot of pattern testing, if you will, not pattern testing like what you do in the crochet community where you test out a pattern, not like that. I was just like finding patterns, testing them out, seeing if I liked making the item, how does it work up, how does it look, those kinds of things, and then deciding if I wanted to continue forward with making them. When I made these strawberry keychains, I just did not really like the way they looked. I just thought that they were too big and bulky. I didn't like the way that the beads were on them. Even the bow keychain with the beads, I just didn't like how they looked. And so I ended up selling both of the strawberry keychains. Like I said, they were a last minute addition. I was gonna just leave them at home and probably just throw them away, honestly. So I was very shocked that they sold. I did not sell the bow keychain with beads. I was kind of going for like a wristlet type situation with that one, but I ended up making it way too small. It was like a child size wrist. Like it fit around mine, but I was like, this is way too small. And if anybody with a slightly larger wrist puts it on, it's gonna like stretch way out and it's just gonna be ugly. But it still is cute in my opinion, just to have as like a decoration on there. You don't necessarily have to put it around your wrist. So I did end up taking it, but like I said, that one did not sell. I also took 6 flower keychains with beads. I thought that these turned out amazing. I'm obsessed with these. I think they're so cute, specifically the white one with the orange beads. Love that one, or like peachy colored. I didn't sell any of these, and I was very shocked about that because I thought that they were so cute with the beads and everything. I thought that they turned out really, really cute. Oh, I missed my scrunchies. I took 10 scrunchies. These were all different varieties. I did some knit scrunchies in some different color options, and then I also had some crochet scrunchies, and I ended up selling, I did not write it on my paper here, but I think I probably sold like 4 or 5 of them. I'll put whatever the total was here on the screen. But I did sell quite a few scrunchies, and they were popular. A lot of people were looking at them even if they didn't purchase one. I also took 8 headbands with me, and I sold 1 of these headbands. I had a couple different patterns. So for the pink color, the light pink color, I had 3 different patterns. The first pattern that I tried was like the much wider headband that you can see in the picture here. I did not like that pattern. I didn't like working it up, and I didn't like how wide it was, and like it just looked very like bulky to me in a way. So I just didn't like it, but I still took it because I was like, somebody else might like it. So I took it with me, but I didn't make any more of those. And then I did make quite a few of the little like oval style ones. And then I also had the ones with just like the chains in the middle and the beads. And I love those. I thought they were so cute, but I only had time to make 2, which was a bummer. And I sold my brown like taupe colored one, which that one was my favorite. I love that color. I took 6 hacky sacks with me because hacky sacks are making a comeback, and I am so here for that. So I took 6 of them and I sold 4. Was very excited about that. A lot of kids were coming up and being like, what is this, a paperweight? And I was like, no, it's a hacky sack. Go ask your parents what a hacky sack is. So that was fun. I took 9 coffee cozies with me. Very shockingly, I only sold 1 of these. I was very surprised because I thought that these were really pretty. The pattern I thought was like the color options that I picked and the way that the pattern worked up. I thought they looked like little like coffee bean shape almost, and I just thought they were really cute and priced decently, I thought. So I only sold 1, and I was a little confused about that. A lot of people were walking around with iced coffee, and I made sure to like explain that they are a little bit stretchy. You know, they can fit like larger size iced coffees or hot coffees, and they can also fit like smaller ones. So I'm not really sure why those didn't sell, but yeah, I sold 1. So it was the purple one, the 3 different purple colors. I took 8 wristlet keychains with me with little sunflowers attached. I thought these were really pretty. I actually made my mom one like with special colors for Mother's Day, and she's been using that. So they work really well, and I sold 2 of those. I also thought that those were going to sell really well as well. I thought that they were going to sell out, honestly, and I only sold 2. But let me just say, when I'm saying I only sold 1 or 2 of these, please do not be mistaken that I am not extremely grateful for it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, every single sale, even if you came to my booth and bought something that was $4 or $3, I think my keychains were priced the lowest. So if you only bought a keychain, only, like, please do not hear me wrong. I am so grateful for any teeny tiny purchase, any even just interaction in my booth. Just coming in and saying hello and checking out my work means the world to me. So I think that that pretty much is it. That's not it. I missed one, my bandanas. I completely missed those. So I took 9 bandanas with me. I had 3 different colors and I took 3 sizes of each color. And so my plan was that I was going to make doggy bandanas and people bandanas. And I thought maybe people could like get one for themselves and one for their dog and like match. I thought that was a really cute idea, but I don't think that I marketed it well. I don't think I executed that plan appropriately. And again, it just came down to time. I just ran out of time. I did not have enough time. So I think next time I will keep them separate. So I'll have a whole set of doggy bandanas and then a whole set of people sizes, because again, I just had them together with their colors. You can see in the picture here, they were just hanging small, medium, large, small, medium, large. Of course, people can buy whatever size they want. Some people might have wanted the larger size or the smaller size. So I didn't want to market them specifically as doggy bandanas because I was like, well, I'll let people pick what size they want. But I think by mixing them together, that was pretty confusing to people. So I had to keep trying to explain it, but I don't think people were really understanding. Like, I think some people immediately heard there's some doggy sizes in there too, and they were like, oh, they're dog bandanas, and like were turned away immediately. It was pretty confusing is what I'm trying to say. So I think that I needed to do that a little bit better. So next time I will have a specific set of doggy sizes of small, medium, large, and then I will just offer the medium sizes for people completely separately and keep them, next to each other, but separate also. And I think a big sign saying doggy bandanas would have been very good for this market yesterday, or I keep saying yesterday, Saturday, on Saturday's market, the big sign for doggy bandanas would have been great because there were a lot of people walking around with dogs, and obviously, they were gravitating towards the dog specific tents. There was like a dog treat tent there, things like that. And I think that it would have been helpful to have that sign there so that people could have come and look at them, because I was like, man, if one thing happens at this market, I would love for a little doggy to have one of my bandanas and see it walking around the market with my bandana on. So unfortunately, that did not happen, but that's okay. We'll get them next time. I'm sure that future markets that I go to will have doggies again. So we will try again with that and execute a better plan. I did sell one of the bandanas though, the pink and cream. I can't remember what the color options were. Pink and cream and like purple periwinkle type color. That colorway is the one that I sold in the medium size. The girl who bought it looked really, really cute in it. I'm so glad that she took that one. I will say also another thing that I think I should do better with this next market that I do, which I don't have one scheduled yet. I have some in the works. They are in the works. I've applied. I don't see why I wouldn't get into these coming markets, but I have not been officially accepted yet, so I don't want to speak too soon on announcing a market. I would love to have a mirror set up in the future markets so that people can actually look at the bandanas on their head, because a lot of people I think probably would have liked to have tried on the headbands or the bandanas, things like that, like even the scrunchies maybe, try them out, like anything that is a wearable. I feel like having a mirror, that was a big miss for me. I should have thought about that. So next time I will have a mirror for sure. Okay, that is it. I have covered everything now. So let's talk about my market setup. I did not purchase any display items for this event. Everything was just stuff that I already had or that I borrowed. I did borrow a few display pieces from my aunt, like the little white shelving that I had my plushies sitting on. That was borrowed from my aunt. The little silver tiered tray thing that I had, or shelf, that was borrowed from my aunt as well. It had my scrunchies and my wristlets on it. The table we already had. The black wire shelving is just shelving that we had in our house in my kitchen, and also the little wooden table that was off to the side. Everything we already had. The only things that I purchased was the tablecloth and the sign that went on the front of my table, and also my business cards. Everything else I tried really hard to not spend a lot of money on this market, because the idea is to try and make the money back to get myself out from under this business startup cost, which again I did. Thank God. I am so over the moon happy about that. I cannot even tell you. It feels so good to finally be in a profit standpoint, even though it may just be a small one. That is still amazing. For the next market though, I would love to take the money that I made from the market and I am going to put that back into the business. It's going to go towards a yarn order. Of course, I'm going to need to buy some more yarn, and I would like to try and invest in some better display pieces. I'm so sorry about this sun. It is, oh, that's terrible lighting. Okay, that is a tiny little bit better. I'm pretty much done putting up pictures, but I don't want to scoot over too much because then I'm going to be blinded by the sun. So sorry about that. But anyways, I would love to invest in some more display pieces. If you're a crochet artist and you do any type of markets, make sure you comment down below and let me know what you think I might need for a future market to make this better. I would love some constructive criticism. I do have some ideas that I might be able to purchase. I try really hard to go to thrift shops and buy things because I'm a thrift shop person. I love going to antique stores and, thrift stores all around and trying to find things. So I, like crates and things like that. That's kind of my vibe. But I thought about maybe getting like the wire wire cubes that you can build. Because I think I need something to hang like my keychains and stuff like that on. I think I want to build up in height. I tried to do that at this market, but I was limited obviously, but I would love to build things up and be able to hang my items on something. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know so that I can kind of start compiling a list and get ready for the next potential market. Because like I said, it's not completely set up yet. I just realized that you guys can see all of the clean laundry sitting on the couch here in the background. Just ignore that. It's like I said, it's been a very busy couple months, and especially this past weekend and last week, I literally have done nothing except to survive with regular life stuff and take care of my children and my house as best I could, but laundry has been put on the back burner. So this is actually on my list to take care of today. So we need to get to that, but just ignore that. So anyways, I feel like that pretty much covers it. If I'm forgetting anything, let me know if you have any questions down below. Again, if you are someone who was at the market and you visited my booth and you made your way to this channel, thank you so much for checking my channel out and also visiting my booth and just coming out to the market in general, because I cannot stress enough how meaningful and important it is to support your local creators and artists. I think now more than ever, for obvious reasons, it is immensely important to come out to these kinds of events, and I'm forever grateful and thankful to have been included in that market and to have been able to dip my toe in the world of markets. So it made me, like I said, so much more confident in myself and my abilities, and just getting a market under my belt gave me the confidence to be so excited to prepare for another market in the near future. So anyways, that's going to be it for today. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. If you are interested in this kind of content, like I said, I'm kind of leaning towards homestead videos on Sundays and maybe on Thursdays, like every other week, crochet type videos. If you have any recommendations on how to make this channel a little bit more cohesive with the mashup, let me know. I don't want to split into two channels like Homestead Hillside Soul and Crochet Hillside Soul. That's like way too much for me to take on right now. I don't think that I can handle two channels, but maybe there's a way that I can make this mashup work better. Or if you don't care, if you're like, hey, I like the crochet and the homesteading and homemaking and all that kind of stuff, I love it all, let me know that too, because then I can be like, okay, don't stress about it, just get the videos out, that's fine. So let me know your thoughts about that. I genuinely would like to know. And maybe also if you want to leave a comment for me but don't really know what to say down below, let me know which of the items was your favorite from the photos that I shared. I would also love to know that feedback on my items as well. So okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.